Hey, I'm Booboo Stewart, and you're watching The Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press, and today I am so thrilled to be joined by Booboo Stewart. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm really happy to hear that you are keeping safe, and as you mentioned, a lot of family time. How's this past year been for you?
It's definitely been different. The year definitely turned out, completely different than I thought it was going to go, which is kind of, flips it on its head, which is always interesting. You kind of got to go with it. Um, I would say it's definitely been a year of the people that I've seen are people that I really care about. Like I actually really, really care about in the sense of, when it was a regular time, you just spend your time with a handful of different people from all over. And then, when it comes down to like, um, yeah, hanging out with the people that actually count, I feel like that's what this year's kind of weeded out. You know what I mean? Like the people that I've consistently been with are people I genuinely want to spend my and share my time with, which is so time is such a valuable thing. You never get it back. So it's like to share your time with somebody, I think the value of that I've been learning this past year.
I love that. And hey, sometimes a cleanse is good. It's what you really need to, as you mentioned, figure out what's important and the people that are
Yeah.
important. So let's talk about Paradise City. You'll be reprising your role as Vic from American Satan. For you, was it a very easy yes in terms of coming back and doing the show?
It was. Yeah, it really was. After seeing the movie and getting to know all the guys and uh it was a pretty easy yes. It was something I really wanted to do. Um yeah, being able to continue that story and we get to dive further into the world of being a musician um, on the day-to-day basis, not just when things are great, but when things aren't great and you're going through a lot of drama and everyone's trying to cover up each other's drama and like sticking together as a band, and it's very interesting. So you get an insider's look into, I feel like, a more grounded um, music industry.
So getting to reunite with the group, with Andy, Ben, your creator, Ash Alvidson, something I've always been very curious about is, I think you are an actor first, musician kind of second when you did American Satan. And Andy and Ben are the exact opposite. They have been on the road, lived that lifestyle. So did you get a lot of pointers in terms of how to bring that band's dynamic together?
Yeah, honestly, during the movie when we did American Satan, I felt like a total outsider. I was like, "Oh, geez, what am I doing here?" And it was hard to kind of yeah, just because they had known each other, and like you said, this is what they do. So I definitely felt like a bit on the outside. But by the time we got to doing the TV show, I felt like way more comfortable and like so much more grounded in the role. Um, and yeah, I think one of the interesting things, I did a movie called The Grizzlies, and a lot of the cast weren't actors, and it was in the Arctic, and um, most of the cast was from the Northern Territories of Canada, like in the Arctic. And so the first week of me being in the Arctic, we weren't filming, and the director was just like, she just told me, hang out with them as much as you can, and just like soak up as much as you can. And so I was literally just like soaking up, trying to just blend in essentially. Like you don't want to like stand out, you just want to blend in with the gang. And so I feel like by the time our TV show came along, I feel like that happened.
I think that, as an artist, that's what you sometimes have to do, just soak everything up like a sponge and
Yeah.
keep that knowledge for future projects. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing the amazing, talented Cameron Boyce in the role of Simon. You are still actively involved with the Cameron Boyce Foundation and the
Mhm.
work that they are doing. So tell me a bit about it and why it is so important.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron, he's such an amazing person. He did so much charitable work, and that was something he really stood by. He wasn't just someone who was like, oh, I'll put my name on this, and he literally like was hands-on charity, and his family's continuing the legacy of that, and I think it's important to honor that, and anything I can do to support that, I'm there for. I love their family. I love the family, and yeah, Cameron was involved with great, wielding peace, some gun violence and building wells in Africa. He's just so like doing so many great things. So to continue his legacy and what he would have kept doing is what we're trying to do essentially, and build it even further.
So you are on the advisory board. We'll be leaving the link below to the Cameron
Yes.
Boyce Foundation.org. They are doing, as you mentioned, amazing work curing epilepsy, reducing gun violence. I think on social media yesterday, there's a new partnership with Guitars Over Guns. So there's always new programs happening. Share your love, spread the message, and yeah,
Please.
we'll leave the link down below. Now, another Kenny Ortega project you were a part of recently was Julian the Phantoms, where you starred as Willie. What would it mean to come back and do a second season?
Oh, it'd be so amazing. I really hope we get to do that. I'm pretty sure it would have happened last year if the world didn't shut down. And I've like every single day, people are like, "Is it gonna happen?" Like literally all the time. And I'm just like, I hope so. Like literally, I'm in the same boat as you. Like I would love for it to happen. Um, that show was so much fun. It's really, really, really fun. The guys on the show, the whole cast, Madison, she's great. Obviously, coming back to work with Kenny, I love Kenny so much. He is part of my family, and being able to every time I'm around Kenny, I always kick myself. I'm like, come on, like you gotta spend more time with Kenny, just in general, because I just learned so much, and he's such a magical person to be around. And so, just to spend more time with him, especially on the set, and just hanging out with him and learning and watching I'm always there for. I love it. And so being able to do that project was just a blast and fun, and I love my character, and yeah.
What was your favorite scene to be a part of?
The dance sequence that I do. I actually, when I first read the script, I noticed my character didn't do any dancing, and I called Kenny. I was like, Kenny, like, come on, like I got to do something, like, come on. And I just thought he was gonna put me in a little like a quick 8 count or something. I get to rehearsals, like, okay, rehearsals on the weekend or whatever. And I showed up to rehearsals, and it's this huge piece. I was like, oh Jesus, I put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, that was probably my favorite part to film. It was really, really fun.
Let's pretend you didn't dance during Descendants, right? You're like, come on, didn't I prove myself already?
Yeah, I know, right?
So you mentioned the guys. I know you got to spend some time with the Phantoms, Charlie, Jeremy, and Owen. So tell me about building that relationship off screen and having that carry over into the show.
Yeah, it was interesting when when I was auditioning, Kenny had me come down to their band rehearsal in LA because they were all rehearsing as a band just to come meet Owen. And we met in a room, and Kenny said as soon as we met that he could tell that this was like going to be him and I. So that was our first meeting, and we just hung out for a second, and then we did a test together, an audition, and it just felt really natural. I don't know, it just felt really natural. I felt like I was in the right headspace to play that part, and I just knew what I had to do and like to do that part. And also, I don't know, it really felt Owen's like such a fun person, and I feel like he's opened so much up as like a human, and is like really funny, and he's hilarious. But he also is like kind of shy, and a little like kind of like not nervous, but just a little like like kind of in the head a little bit, which we all get. And I felt like for me as a person, I used to be like that a lot, and I noticed that trait in him, and so that was something that I could connect to bring that out, bring him out of that, because I know what it's like to do that. And as the character, like as our characters like work together, I felt that that was like the perfect like place to be. And it really was like perfect. I was like, oh, we did one scene when we first meet, that scene. And I remember after doing that, it was so smooth and felt so easy. And I was like, this is going to be really good. Yeah.
I think the parts you mentioned about the nervousness, like you
Yeah.
can kind of see it on screen, but that's what makes this relationship so beautiful. It's so
Right.
genuine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
the wild hair flip that you got
I
to do
know.
at that scene as well.
I thought they were joking when they said that. They're like, no, we're actually doing it. Are you serious?
How many times did you actually flip your hair back until they got it? Or was it the very first take?
I don't know. It's probably quite a few. You very rarely do you ever hit anything on the first take. You think you do, then you're watching like, oh, or you don't think you do, and you do it like a million times, and then you look back at everything and you're like, oh, the first one was great. Why was I worried?
They just ask you to do it for the sake of it, right?
Probably.
So you did get to meet fans virtually at Dream It Con, get to reunite with Kenny and the cast. So
Yeah.
what has that been like? You know, these Zoom meet and greets, these Zoom panels where you can't actually touch each other.
At first I was like, this is really weird. And then and then I was like, this is actually great. If I was it's one thing to meet someone in person, yes. But coming from someone who has done a lot of like fan events, and usually they're pretty like in and out in the sense of sign an autograph, nice person sign out for the most part, depending on the person you're getting your autograph from and depending on how much time you have and if you're busy or not for that specific hour or so. But I think generally the Zoom convention is better if you want to actually talk to the actor or singer and like get to know them. Because there's no stress. They're like I'm like sitting in my apartment, like, you know what I mean? Like, and we have a certain amount of time to literally just talk.
And there's less
That's it.
noise, you know, at a convention,
Right.
there's crowds everywhere and yeah.
I feel like everybody's more comfortable because they're in their homes. I honestly think it's for the interaction of getting to know a certain actor or singer or something. I do believe it's a lot better.
What's
I
been a favorite memory of yours from these panels or meet and greets?
Something that I've done a few of them now, and there's obviously reoccurring guests, and there's been a few instances of one of the girls wanted to be she wanted to direct. She was in school. Another one was writing a book but hadn't like really finished it and sent it out. And so this happens more than I ever thought would happen. I never even thought that this would happen, but someone else is like painting on shoes and they're drawing, and they ask for advice and like just things like that, and I would say like, well, you should really like finish the book and like send it in, like make that a challenge. And I'll like talk to them about actually doing what they want to do. And then we've had a few months later, I see them, and the one girl who wanted to be a director directed her short film, and she's working on the next one. And the other girl who wrote a book sent it into her publisher. So it's like, it's actually really cool. I feel like I'm kind of like mentoring people, like, come on, do it. So like, it's really, and there's been several instances of this. Like, it's actually really interesting, and I feel very proud to have like pushed people to, go further and making, their dreams literally come true. And it's like getting them one step closer, because sometimes you just need someone to like push you a little bit. It's hard to push yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, they clearly value your opinion. You get to see that progress and that update. So hopefully they
Yeah.
come back with more of
Seriously,
their
I'm
works for
excited to
you.
see like, how's the book going? Like,
Are you starting to like actually recognize the same faces, I'm sure?
oh, definitely. Yeah, I totally do. Yeah, it's fun, and it's literally all over the world. Mainly France, but last time Abu Dhabi. Like someone was up at like 4 a.m. She was like, "Hey, how are you?" I was like, "What time is it?" I'm like, "Where are you?" She's like, "Abu Dhabi."
Anything to make that time difference, to get that time with you.
Yeah, but I'm like, that is so amazing and sweet, and yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
I'm sure a lot of these fans have also been with you since the Twilight Saga days. When you
Yes.
look back at that period in your life and that franchise, only fond memories?
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, memories of like craziness and like wild adventure, and um yeah, it's some things that I don't know if I'll ever experience again in a film. That those types of movies don't just like happen all the time, and to be in them more than once, I feel like would be uh yeah, I don't know if that'll happen again. So
As
yeah.
Seth, like you played Seth Clearwater, what was your favorite scene to be a part of?
Um oh goodness. Favorite scene to be a part of. There's a scene, I forget which, it's in one of the Breaking Dawns. And oh, actually, no. I really like the scene when Jacob and Seth are, when Jacob's like leaving the pack and Seth is like, I'm coming with you, like two-man pack, and he's like doing that whole thing. I really enjoyed filming that scene.
He was so earnest. Is it true that you said in a past interview that they screen tested Seth turning back into human form during that final movie and that scene, and it did not go over well at all?
Yeah, it was too sad, and so they cut it out.
I
I
can
guess
imagine
it was
how
just
many
one step too
tears.
far. Like, they're like, whoa. But no, they flew me all the way out to Baton Rouge to film that specific scene, and it didn't make it.
I'm sure when you were filming it, you had to have known this is going to wreck some audiences.
Yeah, the whole sequence, everybody had like evil grins, like, yes, this is going to be horrible.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the cast, any of the Wolfpack?
Actually, Sam, oh sorry, Chasuke, who plays Sam. Yes, he and I keep in touch. And Daniel Cudmore, he played, I believe the character named Felix. He was also in X-Men too. We did a few movies together. We keep in touch probably the most. Just we always, because we worked together after that too, and we'd see each other often. He's a very funny man.
Now that it's been over 10 years since Eclipse, we're going on 15 years for Twilight. I think that this cast is due in for a reunion.
Wow, that's kind of wild. Yeah, yeah, I would say so. That is actually really crazy. I did not realize.
I feel like it's inevitable at some point. There used to be conventions just dedicated to Twilight and the
Oh yeah,
fandom, and you did appear at some of those, so fingers crossed one of these days.
yeah, there could be something. Yeah, that's actually crazy that's happening. I feel like it's due for like a re-release or something, in theaters. Like, I feel like that could be a whole
The
thing.
marathon, right?
Another marathon of like the 15-year anniversary. They could totally do that.
With little clips from the cast, maybe. I'm
Yeah,
sure you would be
I
down to
would
do
love
that.
that. Mhm.
So you have this amazing studio where you get to go and paint and create your art. Tell me about what sparked this passion of yours.
Yeah, I've always drawn my whole life. Ever since I was like really young, I would always draw. And I don't know. I just my one of my buddies, Chris David, and we really just like kind of got into art like at the same time. And we just started going to museums and looking at art and street art and just messing around with different art forms. And we both just really got into it a few years ago. Um, and then I just started drawing myself when I was living back at my family's ranch, and I made a little studio out of one of our empty rooms, and I was drawing a lot, but I wasn't painting. And then I got into street art and the colors of like how vibrant it is and how like thrashy it is, and um, and I think that influenced me to paint with color. I'd never used color before in like my entire life. I didn't even like coloring like with crayons ever. I always drew them with the pen or like markers. And yeah, so just a few years ago I started painting with color. And I think I was just intimidated by it, I think, more so than anything. A little scarier. Um and yeah, I just didn't stop. Like literally just kept going and going and going and going and painting. And it just dawned on me the other day. I've been painting in a new style recently, and I've been at my studio. There's some other painters there, and one of the painters has been mentoring me, kind of like giving me tips. And this year, I've really learned, or I've been learning how to actually paint, which not just expressing myself with paint as another art form, but actually like learning techniques and looking at some of my recent things I've been doing. I'm like, wow, I never thought in a million years I'd ever paint anything that looks like this. So I'm just exploring and like learning and uh, I don't know, not stopping, you know.
It's great that you have other creatives in your studio, to kind of
Yeah.
play off of and learn from, and I'm sure they're learning from you. What is your favorite piece that you have painted so far?
Oh gosh. I don't know what my favorite piece is, but there's I have it in my room. It's called a man above, or man. It's called Man Above, and it's a piece I did back when I was living at the ranch, and it's when I discovered how to use the pen in like this really scratchy form. And that was, I think that's my favorite one, just because it was that turning point when after I finished that specific piece, I was like, whoa, I could like do art, like I could actually like maybe like do this, like, and I never thought that before. I was like kind of trying to find a voice, I don't know what it is, but, and then when I did that, I was like, whoa, it was like the launch of me having confidence in drawing.
That's great. And
Yeah.
that moment of realization. I was a big fan of, I think it's called The World, and it had these multicolored kind
Oh
of
yes, I love that
monstrous
one.
creatures, and it had "She's Angry at Us" written because it was just so
Yeah,
bold and vibrant. And
thank
yeah,
you.
thank
Yeah,
you
I
for
love that.
sharing your art with everyone. It's on Booboo's Instagram if you haven't seen it yet. You did post in November more of an interpretive dance video in that
Yeah.
studio. Can we expect any more of those?
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking about doing one the other day, actually. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of, I don't want to have any boundaries of what, expression. Like, I don't want to be like, I shouldn't do that. Or like, there's no point. I've been making music. I like dance with putting it in reverse.
It was in reverse. Okay,
Yeah,
because it had like that hair stop motion effect, and then people are like, "Is
yeah,
this in reverse?" I've watched this like 5 times.
yeah. I don't know. It's just really fun. Like, just to do anything. I don't know. And having that, honestly, I think I was watching those masterclass videos, and David Lynch, the director, he was talking about it's important to have a space where you create. And I do think ever since getting my studio last year, um, I've really, really like expanded as a creative person, way more so than I've always done creative things like the past handful of years, but getting my own space really flourished. I feel like allowed me to be like, here it is, like, let's go. Like, I don't have nothing I can't, a lot of the times when you're creating, you're like, I don't really have the space to do that. Like, where am I going to do that? I can't do it there. So I do think it is really important, even if it's a desk and like, this is my creative desk, like, it doesn't matter if it gets messy at all. Like, it's fine. This is it. I do think that's important. And I think for me, that really has pushed me leaps and bounds. Like, I've just grown so much as a creative human. I think having a space uh, to do that.
So we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Davin Baltazar so we can talk about all things That Band Honey. Stay tuned. And we are back with Booboo and Davin of That Band Honey. How's it going?
Amazingly.
Great.
Incredibly.
I'm happy to hear that. So you guys have been playing music together for years now, dating back to Echoes of Angels and 5L. Do you have a lot of vivid memories from that time in your life?
Yes. Many, 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 many.
Yeah, extremely vivid. Yeah, we've toured together and we've experienced a lot. That's how we, kind of connected with, that's how we became friends, is through playing music. So tons of vivid memories.
Digitour, you guys opened for some pretty big headlining acts. What was it like on the road at such a young age?
I don't know. I was like, I think it was more just like fun in the sense, like,
Yeah.
we were just like going, like, there was no real, like, it was so grab bag in the sense of like, everybody get in the van, we had like a Sprinter vans for half of it. Then like some of it, we had like a tour bus for a little bit of it. It was just really on the fly and like I felt very spontaneous. Like, we'd just pull up to a hotel, run in, do you guys have rooms? Like, literally, like, that's what it was like. And
yeah,
it was very much that. And then we'd play. Like, the only consistent thing was like, we played the same songs. Everything else in between
exactly. It was
was
kind of
chaos.
Yeah, for me, I loved being in the bus because you could actually lay down, and so on the bus I could actually sleep. When we were in the Sprinter van for about half of it, the chair would only recline like this much, and so I have trouble sleeping throughout my life. So I wouldn't be sleeping on the Sprinter van. So Booboo's dad would drive for like 20 sometimes 20 hours, and I wouldn't sleep the whole way. And then we'd play a show, and I'd be like seriously like falling asleep on stage. So it was horrible. That was horrible.
I mean, you must have had some good conversations with Booboo's dad, though, staying up for that long.
Yeah. He's funny. He was probably just making fun of me the whole time.
So in terms of this current iteration, which kind of started in 2018, 2019, when did you two know that you just clicked as artists in terms of the music you wanted to make?
Yeah. Well, so I had gone up to college, to university up in Seattle, like I told you. For I was gone for maybe 3 years, close to 3 years, and I'd been making music on my own. But then when I came back, we started hanging out again, and we were just playing. Booboo has this ranch, and playing there. It's a big open space, so we'd play there. I'd showed him ideas, and then he would hum melodies over it, and then it was literally just like, dude, we should like write stuff together again. I mean, we did it when we were younger, so but it was just like, it just kind of happened naturally. We didn't really like say like, hey, let's start a band and then write music. We were already kind of just playing. So, yeah.
I guess you have your sister, Davin, to thank for bringing the two of you together, right? It's what, 15 years now you guys have known each other?
How do you know about that? That's crazy. Yeah,
I think it was always brought up. I think the first question was always, how did you two meet in interviews?
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, T-Squad, right?
Yeah,
Seriously.
totally. Yeah, my sister, she was like a big Jonas Brother fan, and then because of that, she started following T-Squad around. And he wanted to start a rock band, and then I was mentioned and I auditioned. Yeah. We were just talking about the audition the other day. I literally sent them like a video of me playing guitar. And then
give her a shout out. What's her name?
Her name?
Yeah.
My sister Deanna.
So you did release Lights Off last year, but you are back in the studio working with producer Andrew Lane. What details can you share?
Oh gosh. It's kind of a funny thing. Like every time we're in the studio and we're recording a song, we're like, this is the best thing we've ever made. Yeah. And then like literally this has happened like the next day we went into the studio and we're like doing another song. This is the best thing we've ever made. Like, so all I can say is that every song we record to us is the best song we've ever made. And so I feel like they just keep getting better. Like I really do believe that our sound is expanding. We're not, we're being a little more at ease with different sounds and just like different ways the music can go. At first we had a very defined, like this is kind of like how we want it to sound,
super rigid.
And now we're just kind of like free flow, and just we have so many. We were just talking about we have so many influences from bands of the past, bands of the present, indie bands, the big Katy Perry, like everything, literally. So it's like we love punk music and we love like heavy metal and like hardcore, and so we're just letting it all trickle, like funnel down, and then then it comes through us, and I don't know, we just filter in what.
Yeah, and I feel like there's that whole thing of like, what kind of style are you as far as bands, and obviously as far as what genre, and obviously it'll sound a certain way because we're making the music. But I think we both kind of decided not to limit ourselves. I think we live in a world now today where there's so much music and there's so much genre available that for me, it's hard to create a specific genre because I like so much. Mm-hmm. Like I listen to literally everything. So it's I don't think I'm good at writing a specific genre. I kind of just write what comes out. So yeah, but we're definitely excited. These new songs that we're writing, I really love. So
I do hope that we do see some of that 80s inspired synth pop. But as you mentioned, like having that band Honey gives you the opportunity to explore, and we're excited. Are you an EP is coming next, or are you going to test the waters with some new singles this year?
Yeah, we'll probably single, and then we'll see what happens after that. We're working on a handful of songs, so we want to spill a lot. We want to just like give everybody like I know we missed a lot of the last year, so we're gonna make up for that for everybody. So it'll be good.
Let's talk songwriting. Is it very much a collaborative process between the two of you?
extremely.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we pretty much do it all like together.
Totally. It's always kind of been that way.
Yeah.
But I do think Booboo has gotten more confidence in music.
So much more.
So
yeah.
he has a bigger hand now.
Yep.
I would say. Originally, we have a few songs in the beginning that we didn't end up releasing, which we still might, but I think it was more. No, that's not true. He's always influenced with melody, but now he has more influence with like actual music and stuff
like
too.
Tone and stuff like that.
So it's definitely more collaborative now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on social media, I saw a video of Booboo, your sister Sage, jamming with you guys on the drums. How long until she joins the band full time?
Yeah, no, she's learning to play the drums.
She's already in it.
Yeah, she's in the band. It's a trio.
Davin, honey, plus Sage.
And featuring Sage. No, yeah, she's getting good too. I was like, dang, Sage. She hadn't practiced in a really long time. That was just like out of nowhere. I'm like, what, Sage?
Yeah. I was just jamming on guitar.
Yeah.
That's so that place that we were jamming, we used to play at all the time. That's kind of where we played with Echoes of Angels, and
that's where we wrote the first handful of our songs too.
Yeah. And so Sage is always kind of, well, she's very into music and artistic, so she's always wanting to play. And yeah, we were just jamming. She held time really well, and
yeah,
it was really cool.
I have like an 8-minute recording on my phone of you guys playing.
Yeah.
I want to like sample it somehow and like just release it.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
and that's the best part about, creating art, doing it with people that you love and having fun and going back to your roots. And speaking of, we're going to play a game that I like to call Throwback Trivia. So I watched some past interviews that you've done circa 2012. We are going to see how well you put yourselves in young Booboo and young Davin's shoes. You can only answer for yourself, not your bandmate. And we'll see who has the better memory. Are you guys ready?
All right.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna win.
Oh no.
I will tell you the outlet, so in case that rings any bells. But first question, with Pop Star, if there was a movie about your band, who would you want to play you?
Wait, we were both asked this?
Yes. You both gave different answers.
I feel like I know who Davin's would be. Hold on. This was a long time ago. This was not recent.
Yes, it's 2012 with Pop Star. It was probably during one of 5L's tours.
I mean, I have somebody in my head, but he's. Oh
my God, who would have said?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
That's what would play me.
Oh no, I have no idea.
You can take a pass if you don't know.
No. So it was just.
It's gonna be who you would say it would be now.
Yeah, dang it. What was it?
Wow, who would I? Okay, back then.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. I feel like I would have said that too.
Yeah, I feel like I would have said.
Did we both say that?
Okay, so no, Davin won. He said Johnny Depp. Booboo, you said Joseph Gordon-Levitt or Jim Caviezel.
Oh!
I did say Johnny Depp. Yes, I said Johnny Depp. Of course I did.
Person of Interest was a great show. I think that you had said at that time your favorite actor was Jim Caviezel, so of course you would want Jim to play you.
Oh.
That's funny that he said Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because he reminds Joseph Gordon-Levitt, or Booboo reminds me of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think they have a similar kind of look.
Who knows? You could have prompted that answer, so you might have known it. Okay, number 2, Rock Forever magazine. If you were a superhero, what would you do and what would your power be?
Oh, I would be a wizard. That's mine. What's that? What my?
That's more like that's like a magician. Oh no.
Yeah, but if I had a secret power, I'd be
okay.
I want to be a wizard.
Wizards, they can do anything.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
The all-encompassing answer. Okay, Davin, how about you?
I think that's what I would have said.
What would I do?
It was like a 2-parter, but we'll give you some half points if.
Man, what did I say back then? Shoot. I don't remember what I said, but I definitely like I would want to be able to fly, just get out of the yeah. I would fly and I would take people with me and I'd let them fly with me.
Yes. Why? That's so weird.
That's so amazing. I would carry people while I'm flying so they can experience the movement.
So Booboo will give you half a point for you said snap your fingers and make anything happen. And then you said
I can't do that. I can't do that.
So I mean, let's pretend that that's a wizard. But Davin, you get 1 point because you said flying and then you said to help people. So taking people with you.
To help people?
Oh my God.
What kind of answer is that?
Well, you said you would take people with you. So like that's actually kind of what you said. So that was pretty good.
Help people is so vague. I would help them.
Well, initially, Booboo said it was to do whatever he wanted, but then you deflected and said to save people after you.
Do you notice how different we are? This guy's like, what would you do? All me. I'm like, I want to help him.
I see that disparity, yes. Question 3, if 5L could perform with anyone alive or dead, who would that be? This was in 2012.
Dang. Who would I have said? Oh, gosh.
I feel like I would have said like Guns N' Roses or something.
Yeah, I was into like screamo bands.
Yeah,
back then,
yeah.
So. 2012.
I'm gonna say the Jonas Brothers. I feel like
yeah, I probably would have said like Katy Perry, but maybe I said that.
Final answers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no one got it right. Booboo, you said the Beatles, and then
Who said the Beatles?
you said the Beatles.
I said the Beatles.
Yeah, and then you said, but I don't know if their fans would like us. And then Davin, you said the Wanted.
What? Oh my God.
Half a point. We'll give a half a point if someone knows what 5L's answer was.
Britney Spears. I don't know. She might say like Nora Jones or something.
What 5L's answer was?
Britney Spears. I'm gonna say Britney Spears. Probably wasn't it, but what was that Wanted song?
Corinne Bailey Rae.
Yeah.
She said One Direction.
Oh.
I think someone actually might have mentioned it earlier, but okay. Question number 4. This is 2019, Radio Disney. What was your New Year's resolution?
Oh man. I probably said write more music.
That's what I wanted to do last year. To create every day.
Final answers.
To be more creative.
Okay. I'll give Booboo half a point. Well, you said something like paying it forward. Okay, Davin's, yours is to floss every day. So you did not get that right.
Obviously that didn't happen. What?
So floss every day. Wow.
The answers that you've been there's points on the board. We're gonna do one more, half a point, bonus point. Does anyone know what Ryan's answer was in terms of if there was a movie about your band, who would you want to play you?
Ryan. Dang, I forget what actors Ryan likes. Ryan. Can we zoom him right now? Ryan.
Think about his personality at that time. It was related to that.
Ryan.
He's really funny. Comedian.
I don't. I'm gonna say Tom Hardy. That should be playing Ryan. Tom Hardy.
It's way too intense. Like just way too intense.
Do you want to take a pass?
No.
Well, you know, there's no passing.
No. Gosh,
I literally have no clue.
I'm really trying to think here. I'm trying to win. I know there's no hope because I've already lost.
I think I'm losing. I think
No,
you're winning.
I'm losing.
Really?
Okay, what?
It would be sick
Ryan
to post this interview on our story or something. Like put this part of it or something.
That would be funny. Ryan liked. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna say.
You gotta just guess now.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw it at Brad Pitt.
It was Will Ferrell. When you said he was funny.
Wait. He said that.
I was gonna say Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell.
See, but I know Ryan would have said something like.
I thought he was
that's
being
not
funny.
serious.
Yeah.
So Davin's our winner. He has 2 points. Booboo, you have 1. But that was fun, you guys. It's like to revisit
awesome.
that time. You're like, can't believe I said that.
I cannot believe I said that.
That was a great. That was a great question. That's funny. Yeah, why would you say the Beatles?
I don't
He
listen
doesn't
to
even
the
like the
Beatles.
Beatles that much, which is ridiculous.
Never listened to them.
2012, you maybe thought that they were relevant to say to other people. I don't
David
know.
likes the Beatles.
No, they're the best
He
band
loves
ever.
the Beatles.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. Before we wrap things up with our signature question, thank you both for taking the time to chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So That Band Honey has been working on their craft for years. If you haven't heard their music, please purchase and stream. My personal favorite is You and Me, but looks like there's a lot of new stuff coming. Our signature question, if each of you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Oh, well, I mean, okay. Well, I almost went with like my favorite ice cream flavor is this, but if I could be one, it might be something else.
Could be one. Oh yeah, I know what my favorite
Right.
one is.
I think ice. It would be my favorite one also. It's mint chip.
That's my favorite one too, because it's minty and fresh.
It's clean, but there's like sprinkles.
Yeah, chocolate. So it's like
Ooh.
fresh and chocolatey.
And chocolatey.
And you guys would be the same flavor.
That really is my favorite one.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you guys so much. Catch Booboo in Paradise City is out March 25th on Amazon Prime. New music from Booboo and Davin's That Band Honey coming soon, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.